Before we get into your video, I just want to do a quick disclaimer. This is not financial advice. This is not medical advice. This is not advice on how to live your life. These are my opinions. All right? Take them all with a grain of salt. Enough of the interruption, and let's get on to your video.
Hey, how's it going? Taylor Talks here. Today's episode is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to be talking about how the law of attraction works, at least in my opinion. And it's really broken down into 4 levels, and we're going to go over those one by one. All right, so let's talk about the first stage or the first level of this law of attraction breakdown. So this is really no different than the law of attraction. We're just breaking it down into multiple steps to actually recognize what's going on when the law of attraction is actually working. So the first step, or the first level, we'll call this the choosing. All right, and this is when you're choosing what you want or what pops up for you or what comes up for you. It's kind of like if you have an idea, right, or an invention idea or a business idea or an idea about building a home or anything like that, whatever you're choosing that you want, that's the first step. They're like, oh, I want this, right? And then you go to the next step of saying, oh, I want this and I'm choosing it. So that's the first part. All right, so you know what you want. Level 1, pretty easy. Now we're in level 2. Okay, level 2, we're gonna have to clear some obstacles on this level. So basically you know what you want now, but now you need to make room for what you want to come. So that means you're gonna need to clear all the obstacles out of the way. Anything that's gonna slow you down from making that process happen, you want to clear those obstacles out of the way. If I use a reference of like a video game, like a side scroller like Mario, right? Like you got to jump on the turtles, you got to knock the boxes out of the way, you got to figure out a way to get through things. And you got to get things that are, so if you're wanting a big goal and you have a bunch of stuff in your life that if you had that in the way you couldn't get that goal, well, you're going to have to start to figure out what needs to get out of the way and what doesn't. And you know, just to kind of give an example, like, so if somebody's trying to make $1 million business from nothing, right? I don't think they're going to have a whole bunch of time every day to go home and chill, right? So I think they're going to have to make a few sacrifices to create this thing out of nothing. They're going to have to make space in their life to do that. So I'm not saying like, hey, you can't ever go see your family again if you want $1 million business or something like that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that no matter what your goal is, you have to clear space for it. You got to clear the board, you know, because if you want to receive what you're trying to create, you got to know what you're going to create, level 1. Level 2, you got to start to clear this space for what you are trying to create to come in. Everything you have takes a piece of your energy, so you got to make an exchange. It's not just, oh, I'm going to sit there willy-nilly and it's just going to fall in my lap. Like, it could work that way for some, and I hope it does, but in my experience, that's not the way it goes. So we now understand level 2. We know we got to clear things out of the way. And when I also, just to bring one more thing in there for level 2, I'm definitely also talking about habits. Like if you have habits that take up all your ability to do things or to function on a way higher level than you already are, well, if your goal is big, it's going to be on a higher level than you already are because it's more than what you have now and you're trying to manifest it, right? So you have to get habits out the way that are going to slow you down, right? You know, doubt, anger, regret, these things are going to slow you down. These are bad habits. Then obviously, like you get into the nether realms and like people get addicted to drugs and sex and all types of lifestyles. Those are also bad habits. Those things can stand in the way of real success, you know? If you have say you have a terrible drug problem, right? And you want a house on the prairie, well, it's going to be really hard to achieve that with a vicious cycle like that in the way. So my advice is if you have goals you want to set, the first thing you need to do is find out what you're going to purge from yourself, what you're going to clear from the board to get there. All right. So that's level 2 in a nutshell, but no, there's more. Prepare for the boss fight. Level 3 is on the way. All right. So we've arrived. It's level 3. It's the boss fight. this is when shit gets real. So basically, this is when everything starts to crumble. So first, level 1, you know what you want. Level 2, you're clearing space out for what you want. Handling small challenges, but it's not too real. Level 3, this is the boss fight. This is when you're going to get defeated, and it's going to feel like you're getting defeated over and over again, and you're going to want to rage quit, and you're going to want to say, oh, the game is cheating. I don't want to play this game anymore. It's pissing me off. But no, the game isn't cheating. This is when, as far as to give the analogies for real life, this is when friends and family may fall out with you over it. They may not want to continue down the road you're going. People can go against you, or nobody could have your back. The universe is going to test your merit. It's going to test your mettle. It's going to see if you're worthy of this. And that's when things are going to start to seem like they're falling apart. You may have financial troubles. You may get injured. Things may happen. Basically, the game is going to test you. It's going to see, well, okay, you look like you're doing well, but let's see if you're really worth what you're trying to manifest. And you're going to see things kind of break down over and over again a little bit. It's not like a forever thing. It's a breakdown thing. It's a boss fight. You got to figure out the algorithm to the boss and get through it, right? But basically, what ends up happening in this phase is most people, so they have this idea, they start to make for the space for the idea in their life, and then shit comes up, and they have this story of how they could have made it, and the shit came up, and they couldn't make it because. So if you give up the becauses, if you give up the reasons for things to be, and you just say, no, this is part of the process. This is the third level in the 4 levels of creation. This is part of it. This is idea, gestating, birth. Birth is ugly. If you've ever looked at birth in real life, it's a beautiful thing, but it's a terrible thing at the same time. And this boss fight level 3, this is the terrible, beautiful part. And if you could have the grit to see through this part and keep pushing through, well, then you'll beat level 3. And then level 4, the next level, well, we're going to talk about that right now. You've made it. Level 4, victory. You're actually receiving what you were trying to create. You went through the idea process, level 1. You went through level 2, the clearing out the obstacles. You went to level 3, the boss fight, dealing with everything falling apart around you and everything being a struggle and hard times. The testing of your mettle to see if you can have enough grit to get through it. Level 4, the receiving. Rejoice. You've gotten what you worked for, and the universe co-created that with you. You guys worked together for it. And you saw through the illusion, and you made it to the 4th level where you actually have what you're wanting. And that's how you create what you want. Obviously, your belief structure has a lot to do with that. But when you're working with the law of attraction, in my experience, it plays out in those 4 steps. And that's how I see it. Congrats, you made it. In conclusion, I would say if you just pay attention when you're trying to create things, along the way, the universe itself will show you signs. You'll see the majesty of it if you're really looking. All right, you could see how things start to play out. And the thing is, it's a lot easier to get through the tough part of creation when you know that's a natural part of the process than getting through it blindly and just thinking, the world's out to get you, right? So you want to work with it. That's just what I think. And really, what do I know anyway, right? So I appreciate you coming by. I'm Taylor, Taylor Talks. If you like what we had to say, make some comments down below. Please share, do all that good stuff. We could use all the help we could get with this. We're still new at it. I hope you enjoyed it, and be the one. Peace.